Nothing to do with them. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time at about the 4th corner, and they had to come in. Time ticking away, Julian.
Yeah, clear the grid. What's left now then, Karoon? They've been given it. Jenson Button's car here. Obviously a big weekend for him in the SMP 11 car. Petrov is one of his teammates. I tell you what, Button has just blended into everything all weekend. No one's really known he's been around.
Yeah, he's gone sort of under the radar, but he's really enjoying it. I think, you know, I spoke to the guy from SMP, and they said he's come with a great attitude, and he's really enjoying it.
Jenson Button, he was chatting earlier on about his car's problems. They had a sensor issue in qualifying. They had a sensor, or the engine wasn't running properly right from the beginning of the race. And it turns out they had another DUF sensor, but it wasn't the same one. He said it's going to be a very long race for the team, and especially for the drivers. Now, however, you know, he's here to learn about Le Mans and learn about sports car racing. He's learning, you know, the school of hard knocks, but he's got to get the mileage in, like the team have, like Aston Martin, like all the new LMP1 cars.
And the thing is, getting to the end of the race is better than not getting to the end of the race.
And there is Jenson Button, who's
up
got
into
ahead.
Second place.
Yeah, got ahead of Bruno Senna.
Yeah, overtaking. Well, he caught up onto Bruno quite quickly and is all over the back of him, and it's coming down in towards turn number 11. Heavy braking just before the corners onto the back straight. Got a better power down, basically. You know, I think that car's a little bit quicker in these conditions. We saw it in Fuji, we saw it in the limited laps we've had so far.
Carrying a little bit more downforce, do we think, maybe, than the Rebellion?
I think it's just got more aggressive downforce, which will load the tyre a little bit better. Now you can see he's able to take completely different lines and be much more aggressive on the tyre. And then that also creates more tyre temperature, which then gives them more confidence and more grip, and then it spirals upwards. Whereas if you lose it, then it's a spiral downwards.
Well, there, your 4 class winners come in.
Congratulations as well to SMP Racing. As we say, they have scored the points for a 3rd place finish so far this season, but they've not stood on the podium. Their 3rd position finish at Silverstone only confirmed after the race and after the podium ceremony, with the exclusion of both the Toyotas for that skid plate infringement.
Always nice to be on the podium. Does it have to be raining quite so hard? The crew of number 11. So Michael Alishin, Vitaly Petrov and Jenson Button, joined by our championship leaders.
Monza is going to be utterly bonkers, and a lot of it is about 2 cars, the 50 and the 51 car. 50 years since we saw a factory top-class prototype program from Ferrari. And, you know, I'm sure you've heard through the industry the kind of ripples of that beginning to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, it's just great to have Ferrari back at Le Mans, back on the grid. You know, it's got such a history at Le Mans, and to see them here at the Centenary is just fantastic. Probably, as I said, the car is absolutely gorgeous, and it's certainly, as we've seen so far, it's been incredibly quick.
We're going to see something very different right now. Jenson Button ready to get aboard, and
as Bullwinkle used to say,
there's something else this car
completely different.
Yeah, this car's got a lot of things we're used to, but it's got one thing we're not used to at Le Mans. Ain't got no doors, sir.
No doors.
So let's watch this go ahead. It's been a key part of the appeal of this. Watch as JB gets ready. And that was Jimmy Johnson.
Out comes Jimmy Johnson.
Eventually.
Go, go, go. Look at that. That's not simple.
Doesn't look like the easiest thing, does it?
Especially if you're not my size.
It's a bit different to get into a Formula 1 car, isn't it?
It's somewhat.
A little bit.
But the drivers definitely enjoy being here in what is a fairly comfortable, relaxed and low pressure out of car environment.
One of 2 Hertz Team Jota Porsche 963s, both into Hyperpole yesterday. Jenson Button qualified this car and could do no better than 9th. It was super close through the top 10 order.
And even in this heat that we have here in Qatar, the drivers would still be preferring that without the tyre warmers, as Jenson Button gets into the car 38.
Yeah. Driver change. They're still under investigation. So Jenson Button will have his first Porsche stint here in the World Endurance Championship. Last time he raced in the top class, it was LMP1 with SMP. Now, Jenson Button under pressure from Mike Conway. Jenson having tucked up Mike a couple of laps back to snatch that 7th place away. Michael Christensen in the number 5 Porsche, 1.8 seconds now behind Jamie Davis stroke Norman Nato. Not sure quite which one it is in the number 12 Hertz Team Jota car. So again, both Jota cars, well, not quite in the top 6 yet. They've got to catch Robert Kubica in the 83 Ferrari, but really strong race from them. Really strong race from the Penske Porsches. 99 Proton is the only one really that hasn't unlocked the pace of the Porsche.
Indeed, an hour and 17 minutes we need to see from Valentino Rossi in this stint and whatever follows to meet his 2 hours and 55 minutes. Another car on pit lane just rolling beneath us now, and that is
V8.
That's the 87 car with his stop and go. It's a drive-through for that car.
Podium, and here comes the Cadillac. Sebastian Bourdais has held off Julian Andlauer. Hertz Team Jota 1-2, Cadillac 1-2. And Julian Andlauer takes third. Will Stevens there, and the taller figure of Alex Lynn celebrating with the team. Well, they started on pole position, and it is victory and a 1-2. Charlie Eastwood takes second. Eduardo Barrichello is third at the line. And again, you pointed out, it's an anti-clockwise circuit. All the strains on your body are in the wrong place, if you like, from what normally happens. So it's tougher work.
First WEC podium for Jenson Button with Sebastian Bourdais and Earl Bamber.
His final professional race drive. And let's talk about this helmet. This is not the traditional Jenson Button helmet that we've been used to been seeing for so many years, but it is in reference to the helmet he wore when he was beating you in karting, Anthony. His first helmet design was painted by his dad before helmet painters were a thing, apart from Sid in Brazil. And so it's that yellow horns on the front. They designed it on his Simpson Shark helmet to kind of scare the rivals. So Jenson's gone for that for his final race.
Yeah, it's great to see it back out there, that helmet design, and any driver that was with him in those years, in the late 80s into the early 90s, will recognise it in its full. Different shape of helmet, of course. He used to use one of those Simpson Shark helmets that looked like something out of Star Wars, and I had the Simpson Bandit actually. So we raced hard together, and obviously we didn't know it at the time that we were going to both make it into Formula One. He went on to win, obviously, the F1 World Championship. I won the World Endurance Championship. And we used to race with a certain driver called Dan Weldon as well. And it was that trio that really dominated the British karting scene in those late 80s, early 90s era. And Jenson was using that helmet design. And yeah, he was phenomenal right from word go. I really enjoyed watching and being a part of his career all the way through. And this is the track where I obviously ended my career. It's strange that how it's quite surreal that he's doing the same thing and driving for the same team as well. Yes. Albeit in very different machinery, but it's there have been lots of parallels through both of our careers. We both work on Sky as well on the odd occasion for covering the F1 races. So yeah, it's, you know, we're the same generation. So no, it means a lot to me as well to see him out there and enjoying this world of sports car racing. It's very different to F1 and that scene. So yeah, he's tried his hand at quite a few different disciplines, hasn't he, as Jenson? Always been an absolute class act. That silky smooth style, silky smooth style that he's always had behind the wheel in anything he's driven. First noticed it in karting. Yeah, and it's been a great joy to watch and to race against.
Really looking forward to him dragging you into the Goodwood revival and some old car racing as well.
And feedback from Earl with the strategy we're going to do on taking rear is the first 2 laps we will have on the steer, but then the rear grip drops away and the car is balanced.
bit of understeer for the first couple of laps as the new rears really have that first couple of lap bite in them, and then it starts to settle down a bit. So it's an emotional time. There you are, there's the picture, that's him on the grid, and Anthony, the little arrow there pointing to you just behind Papa Smurf.
Hey, it's me on the left-hand side. Yeah, rather embarrassingly, my artwork has made its way onto television, but there you go. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, so John Button and son Jenson. There's Sam Hignett, boss of Jota Sport. And what an operation this has become. 25 years in the making. Celebratory socks and everything. And I have to say, I think Ricky and Jordan Taylor would definitely, absolutely be knees in under the table with Jota. It's a team that is very professional, but with lots of good humour about everything they do. And if there's one mark of the Taylor brothers, it's their humour as well as their professionalism. So I'm sure he will have a fantastic time. Final run for Jenson Button, his last stint as a professional race driver.
Yeah, it hasn't been the day that I'm sure he wished for his final time behind the wheel, but yeah, it's a strange moment. Obviously, I've been there myself, but I think the last time I ever feel this sensation, it's a sport you can't do outside of this environment. It's a strange sport in that way, and to know that your whole lifetime that you remember, from an 8-year-old kid up until this moment, as a 45-year-old, you won't feel those sensations again that you feel in a race, especially at World Championship level, as a professional racing car driver. It's an odd feeling to think that all these G-forces that I'm exposed to right now, the feeling of the car, the sounds and the vibrations, you'll never feel it again.